going on, everybody? My name's James. This is the first time that I've ever attempted to stream anything. So, hopefully this will work well. I'll play a little Railroad Tycoon. I figured I'd give this a shot, see how well I do. This game here is pretty fun. I don't know if anybody's played it or not, but I enjoy it a lot. Since I was a little boy, I've always been enthused with trains and railroads and how they operate, and so I figured I'd give this game a shot and sort of explain what's going on in this game and how to play it. One of my favorite scenarios to play is the whole United States. I've played this a couple times, and it's pretty challenging, I think. It says that it's a medium difficulty game, but it's pretty hard, in my opinion. I like starting out in Kingman, having 3 competitors, AI level, normal, realistic railroad network, and a pause mode. So
your search is over.
Hey, why should we? Meticulous planning.
I like choosing the industrialist.
Figures, and
I like
hard
that I can get
facts.
manufacturers for 50% cheaper. Also, you're able to buy factories without an auction. So that's the guy I'm going to use for this challenge. I've just recently purchased a new computer. I'm actually using my son's streaming gear to do this stream. So what we need to do first is build. We've got $2 million. I could save a lot of money by building my track the way I want it, but for this video, I'm going to go ahead and select a large train station with signal control, so I don't have to manually do that. And I'm going to turn this where it's aimed towards this little area right here. It's a little bit more flatter for when I want to run some track. And then Albuquerque, I'm going to rotate this guy around and try my best to put it towards the south. Now, one of the strategies I've used is when I first started playing this is putting a warehouse in Albuquerque and running multiple trains to both passengers to this station and goods to a warehouse. And I don't think that I'll be able to do it. I could run one there. However, I believe what I'll do is run this warehouse close to Albuquerque. Alright. The next thing I want to do, I want to go ahead and, so I won't forget, to figure out what goods are going to go to this warehouse. So when you're running these two, a line between these two, you see that both of them have a need for meat. So we're going to add cattle. Now, when these towns make their meat, they need a place to be stored, so I'm going to put that there. Corn's probably the next second best thing to get starting out. Logs, we'll get that. Our goal is to connect Los Angeles after we do these two. And if you notice, Los Angeles likes to make beer, so we're gonna have to get him wheat somehow. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add beer, and I'm gonna add wheat, so I can have trains going, taking stuff to and taking stuff back. And I think wheat's at the front. As soon as I get that, there it is. I'm gonna max this out so it'll store multiple things. Go ahead and add a maintenance building there. I want to add a maintenance building in Kingman for my passenger train. Figure out. There we go. There we go. Alright, we got 2 maintenance buildings. Now we got 940,000 left. We know we're going to get this starting out, that starting out in logs. I'm going to go ahead and run some track. My next move is get the track going. Might as well just lay off of it. Let's go ahead and put us a supply tower in the middle somewhere. We'll put it close to the end here. Well, I just noticed that I didn't connect that track there. So we got that done. Now, I'm gonna run this close. I don't want to interrupt the Native Americans. So we're gonna try to hug this mountain the best we can. And curve this track back towards Kingman. The closer that you can get to each your connections, the less likely they're gonna build a bridge. So that'll save you some money. Let's do that. Let's run this second line. Oops. There we go. Okay, we still got 718,000 left. Go ahead and connect there. Just gonna go ahead and connect all 4 rail lines, even though I really don't need them. It still leaves me 568,000, so save some money. Right now, I'm going to put this station here. And then I'm going to run a smaller station here. So I still got 428,000 left to get to buy my trains and supply towers. So let's go ahead and start this line right here, curve it a little bit. We'll go ahead and run this line down here. Down here. We're messing with the Indians there. Let's back that up. Try to avoid the Native Americans if we will. And then I'm going to run this line as close as I can to right there. As you see, it's not gonna let me do that. Now I can pull it out here a little bit and then run it up and then it'll reconnect. Which is what I'll do. And we'll run it right up here. Still got 308,000 left to spend. So I'm gonna run this guy right along here. And then blend him in there. And let's cross. Let me see. What would be the best way to do this? Should I run this? Yeah. I don't like having my trains being blocked a lot or sitting still a lot. That's what I meant to say. So what I'm gonna do, trying something, a different little strategy here. And you'll see here in a minute. We'll see how this works. I don't want no bridge. So we got that. Now, when you put signals out, you can have the signals run your tracks. See how it's all going this way? So no trains can go just down this right side, as you see. Let's go all the way down to this point right here. Alright. Now, I'm going to run signals this way and this way. And the double tracks where I got multiple places to load goods. These two areas that I'm running trains will not interfere with each other, because, and I've never tried this before, this strategy of looping around from another station, but hopefully there won't be no conflicts. With my lines. As you see. So I got that one set up. Let's go out here to the main line. And get one more here. One there. Okay. So what we want to do is we want our trains to use these two lanes going to the east and these two lanes going to the west. And later on in this scenario we may have to put tracks crossing each other to get to different areas, but right now this is how I'm going to run my railroad. What I like about this game is it's got a lot of strategy. You have to really think how you want to set stuff up, because the more you add goods and cities And the more traffic you have, the more difficult it is to run your trains efficiently, because a lot of times you have delays because the track's full. You also, if you're not thinking strategically, you can have trains that get stopped by each other because they get confused and meet each other because you didn't set your track up right. So that's another aspect that I like. Then you got the 4 or the 3 other AI players. I've never played this game against a human, which I think would be fun. But you got the other 3 AI competitors, and they're trying to set things up in cities that you're wanting to go. They also will try to buy factories in your own towns. So they make it difficult. I mean, you'll see this stream here when it gets going. So for the first part, we're just setting stuff up. Oh, I got that read the wrong way. No wonder. Okay. Oops. Wrong way, James. Wrong side, so I'm going to go and fix that. I don't like having my signals real close to supply tower. I feel it's going to slow things down. Yeah. Stuck there for some reason. Oh well. Okay, it's good. It's good. I just got turn these around. And it's not wanting to turn around, so let's delete them. There we go. Now let's put them back out. Got them to the go. So we'll go with that one there and that one there. So we've pretty much got everything set up. We've got at least, we've got the warehouse set up. We just need to put trains out. I got 190,000 left. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build me a train that's going from Albuquerque. I'm going to make this a passenger only to Kingman. And then I'm going to put me a line going from Chaplain Breeding to warehouse number 1. And West Manor to warehouse 1. It still gives me 100,000 left. As you can see, this train's already gone. We got supply tower there. We need a supply tower coming from here. We'll put one right there. Still got 70,000. Now, I've got a decision to make. Do I want to run some more trains here and fill this warehouse real quick, or our next goal is to get to Los Angeles? So let's do that. Let's run a line. See, look how much it costs just to build that one bridge. So it's going to cost. Just sort of keep on. And you notice the grade percentage, and that's how the trains can climb. And if they're real weak, like our initial ones we got, they don't climb very well. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way I can keep these guys from. I think we're just going to shoot for the best we can. 16, 15. I seen a 15 grade right there. So it's going to be about 158 grand to run this track here to Kingman to Los Angeles. So we know how much it's going to cost. We've got the track prepared. Now we just need. So here's another trick. You want to, for example, this place that has cattle. They make 2.4 per week, and if you pay attention up here, the time goes pretty quick. This train's already took off, and it had loaded eight loads of cattle. So let's go back here and see how far it's traveled. Well, they had 11 when they took off. Look how much he's reproduced already. So that tells me that I can afford another train there. So let's go ahead and get another one running. Usually I do 3 or 4 for this cattle ranch here. And let's take a look at the logs. They average 3.5, so whenever the towns start demanding logs, this is something that you might consider buying along with the cattle. And then West Manor has a corn farm, and they don't put out as much corn as the other 2 places. But I will say that corn will be demanded pretty
Nothing
quick
ventured,
by both towns.
nothing gained.
So for right now, we'll go ahead. As you can see, we got this other line going here. We'll wait for them to deliver the corn. We'll build another train to go to Albuquerque, and they'll start running supplies back and forth in here. Or it might be better yet. Yeah, let's just wait until these cattle get delivered, and then we can start running stuff. So we'll build up some more. Let's see where our passenger train is. There it is. It's coming back. So we'll wait. We'll wait a few minutes. That way we for sure have something to deliver to Albuquerque. Get a little close-up view of what I've got going on here. Now, we've got the train unloading our cattle here, and you'll see them pop up over here somewhere. Cattle on the side. Okay. Now, when we get back, you'll see them. They'll be on the platforms. Let's go ahead and get a train started. We'll zoom out. From warehouse number 1 to Albuquerque. And we're going to put freight only. Add locomotive. And it should start loading up with cattle. Nope, corn. Okay, that's fine. We'll take that. And here comes our passenger train to the warehouse. And there's our train we just bought with corn. Ooh, they're going to race. I believe the passenger train's going to win that. It's a lot lighter load. So we should have double the money coming up so we can get another train going to Kingman from the warehouse number 1. And as you see, we got another train coming in. This one is carrying cattle. Here comes our 2 trains into Albuquerque. Now I will say this, once we get Los Angeles started, and we can get some grain to Los Angeles to make beer, you're going to see Albuquerque and Kingman start to take off. The cities will start growing, and that's when you'll see logs being brought in as well. Alright, there's our first delivery. Let's get prepared to, there it is, and there's another line. And there's some cattle going to Kingman. Now let's see what we got in here. 8 loads of cattle. That's all we've got right now. So now we need to make some more trains in West Manor, and at least another one in Chaplin Breeding. So we need at least 2 more, which we'll have that ability any minute now. Let's see now. I like getting low and looking at the game because I think for a railroad type game, I think it's pretty cool to watch the scenery, what's going on. You can see there's a train back here coming into the warehouse. It's delivering corn. Our passenger train had to stop for a second, and then he's took off. He's waiting on that train to clear to go to Kingman, I believe, that was carrying the cattle. Let's ride along. So we're riding on one of the trains. This is the passenger train from Albuquerque to Kingman. Yeah, he was waiting for the train ahead of him. Now the train we're on is a little bit lighter, so it's going to catch this train of cattle. So we'll be stopping quite a bit. You can even blow the whistle. They're telling that guy to hurry up. I'd say the guy in front of us is probably flipping us off right now. Trying the best I can, so. There we go. Now, we got to the top of the incline, so that other train should start going a lot faster. A lot less wait time for us. Keep an eye on top up here at the money. We're still at 29,000. And I'll explain the quarterly report here shortly. No need to right now. Basically, it's telling you how much you've made in 3 months. So we don't have no bonds, we don't have no loans or anything like that. So we should be profitable as long as we're not spending for what we've made. Sort of frustrating because you would think, and I know I should put this train on the other line over there and it wouldn't have to follow, and I'll show you how to do that. So this train here it's showing the route it's taking using these two lines. And you can fix that by this. By putting it on well, it's not letting me do it for some reason. Maybe I have to wait till he gets into the station. And you can assign track lanes. I don't know what's not letting me. Maybe at the start of the game, or when I buy a train, I should maybe purchase, not purchase, but put them on the correct tracks I want to run them. Oh, so we got a bid for John Hancock. This is pretty crucial, I think, is get out of these slow trains. So let's bid on the train. If we win it. And we did.
Look out. I've still got an ace or two up my sleeve.
Well, we don't care. So, we got a new train. Let's go ahead and see if we can upgrade our train. And what I do for that is I don't want a new line. Oh, it's up here. There it is. So you can either purchase a train right there, or you can upgrade all your locomotives, and it costs us right there. So it's pretty good to go ahead and do that now, since we got the money. Still leaves us enough money to run another line, or another. Where's my train that's using this? There it is. Let's go ahead. The second one. Dude's already delivering logs. Let's say we only need 2 for these 2 for right now, and we'll go 3 or 4 with that place. We got 16 things of meat, so we're going to have to get to Los Angeles as quick as we can, because we need to deliver this meat. They need meat. And let's go down here and look at it. So Los Angeles, city size of 2. It's got 21,000 people right now in the city. It consumes 2.8 carloads per week, and the fulfillment demand is at 59%. So they're needing goods. Okay. Right now they're putting out 4 carloads of beer. Now when we bring wheat in here, we will be able to make more beer. Right now the investment on this, I'm not sure. I'm going to start an auction. No money. But we could potentially buy this before we go into Los Angeles. That may be a good resource to have. Personally, I like getting things set up and then start buying. Some people, the strategy they'll do is when they play this game in this scenario, they'll go ahead and buy some of the bigger goods. Like, for example, they're putting out 4.8 a week. It's a level 2. It's a level 2 cattle ranch, and 4.8 a week is pretty. And you can see they're already at full load, so they're going to need to be delivered. These cows need to be delivered as quick as possible. So a good strategy is to buy that cattle ranch and get a lot of trains going in and out and get it to that warehouse, so we can get it to both of the cities that produce cattle. Now, There's another thing up here that I want to show you. It's Utah, or Salt Lake City, and they have a cattle factory too. So when we can get enough track and get enough money to get up there, this place is pretty valuable for all three cities. And what we may do is start a line up here and somehow maybe cross this one over here, or run this line and turn it back here and go up to here, so it's circling around. Well, I can't do that right now because I've got track laid out to go to Los Angeles that I'm trying to save up for. As you see, we got multiple trains. That warehouse is staying pretty busy. We can come here and see what's coming in and what's going on to our right. There's a bunch of cattle being delivered. Now he's going to load meat and take it back to this warehouse. We've got to get this meat delivered. Alright, if the meat doesn't get delivered and it fills up, the demand for cattle is going to slow down, so we've really got to be on top of that. There goes the meat back out. Here comes a passenger mail train in. Okay, the train that we're watching right now just loaded cattle. We'll ride on it until we get some money saved up. Indian Resettlement Bill passed. The Long Dispute Act of the Resettlement of Indian Tribes east of Mississippi comes into force today. The government now has the power to carry out negotiations with affected tribes about their voluntary resettlement. President Andrew Jackson told critics of the bill that progressed was needed in order to move forward. And you got other articles in these little newspapers that you can read about. I'm not sure how accurate some of this stuff is, but I think it's pretty cool. So we're riding this train that has a load of corn. You see this other train's waiting on them to clear so they can get the next load. Going up a deep, very strong incline, so the train's been slowed because of the weight. As soon as it gets to the top of the crest of the hill here, through the supply tower, it'll speed up. To the right, you see the train to the right, clearing the spring. The line is clear, and we can see another train coming in the picture to the distance. It's going pretty fast. Looks like it's the passenger train from Albuquerque to Kingman. So it's moving along pretty good. Get off that. And that's the train we're on. We have one that's coming behind with cattle. So we're going to be rolling in some cash here before long. I'm going to go ahead and get another cattle line going real fast. So all I did is I selected a train that come from Chaplin Breeding to Warehouse 1. Instead of buying a train, I just made a carbon copy of one of the other trains. So I've got 3 going there. Possibly I'll do one more. Putting out 4.8. I'd like to buy that ranch, but I've got to get Los Angeles going first. The warehouse is getting pretty busy. 40 things of meat. We've already almost delivered half of what this place will hold. So we've got to be thinking about expanding to Los Angeles so we can start delivering meat and other goods. And after we get to Los Angeles done, either here is wheat that we can deliver to Los Angeles.
Oh, how fantastic. That one of your locomotives has finally set a record.
Another place is right here for wheat. So we've got 2 places. Now remember, when we built this warehouse, we put a place to get wheat, and that's the reason why. Is we want to maximize our holding capacity. This one puts out 2.4 a week. Let's see what that one puts out. 2.4. So to me, it might make more sense to run a line here to this warehouse. And then that warehouse takes that wheat to here. They bring the beer back to here. And where we've already got beer, storage for beer, the trains we've got running here and here, and then back to LA, which when we build a line there, can deliver the excess beer that we've been delivering to the warehouse. I also think once you get into the game, if you can put warehouses in between cities, or right down here, let me show you. Look at all this, 2 cities and a bunch of resources. And put you a couple of warehouses in here, at least one. You can get that fruit with this fruit. You get the corn. You can get all that stuff and put it right here. And take it back to Albuquerque or San Antonio, Houston, even New Orleans. Now, we started this game, and I want to talk about how you win, how you succeed. Right here, there's our quarterly report. Right here is a list of expectations for you to complete this scenario. We've already connected 2 cities in Kingman and Albuquerque. That's an easy one. But to me, the hardest one out of all these is getting the population of Albuquerque to 76,000. As you see, they only have 12,000 people right now. However, I've played this before, and I know what strategy to use to get this to go up. So I feel once we can get this established and delivering goods to here, and then maybe get some wheat going to the warehouse where there's more production being put out, and possibly either connect Denver or eventually San Antonio. That's when we'll see Albuquerque take off. We also want to expand to Salt Lake City. You've got a competitor up here. Right there he is. Or she, whoever that is. And right now they're going from Seattle to Baker City. They don't have they have more terrain they have to worry about and less resources to work with, so they're going to be a little bit delayed. Your other opponent, while we're waiting, you got one down in Atlanta. Right now they're getting the corn and cattle from Parker Manor. That's a good strategy right there. Get both of those. Running in Atlanta, they skip Charlotte for right now, and they're getting resources here, which is a good strategy, running everything there. Their next move is either Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Nashville, or Memphis. Possibly New Orleans. I think I can beat him to New Orleans. Your third and final opponent's up here in the north. They haven't got to Chicago yet. But they've started either Toledo or Pittsburgh. running trains. He's got 2 trains, 3, 4 trains I see running. This is probably passengers. They're grabbing resources of milk, logs, and wheat. So right now we look pretty good shape compared to the other 3. Pretty big map, I must say. Now, one thing I could do if I really wanted to get some money going really fast, a quick way to get cash is getting bonds. And here's the stock market if you want to play around with it. I don't mess with it that much because the scenario doesn't require you to. But if you want a quick way to get some money, it's an issue of bond. And the interest rates, the higher the amount of bond that you can receive right now is $320,000, and the interest rate's 8%. If I want a quick shot in the arm and didn't want to do 60 weeks with low interest rate, I would borrow $80,000. That would give me enough to get to LA. So let's go ahead. I don't normally do this, but let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get this line going, and we'll try to pay that bond off as quick as we can. So there we go. We got our line. Now all we got to do is get enough money to get Los Angeles started. Now it's always good to pay attention to where you've set your line up. See, I've got on this bottom side of the screen, when I set my town up, I want to put my building to the south, because these lines, when I upgrade my town, these lines are going to run right into it. So let's go ahead and try to get 40,000 more, or how much is it to get a town started? A small station's 40,000. So we'll buy a station once we get 40,000 there, and we'll get one trainer running back and forth, and then we'll upgrade that station and build another line, and then we'll have multiple trains running. Question is where do we want to run the line from Los Angeles? Do we go ahead and make it a passenger train going to Kingsman? I think it's the quicker way to get money. So we may do that first, and then we'll run a line to the warehouse. Good people of Los Angeles is probably excited that the train's coming there. Now we're getting ready to get some money to buy us a station. Well, I like it when 2 or 3, 4 trains come in the station at one time. That's like hitting a jackpot in a casino when you're gambling, because you just start racking up the cash. We don't quite have. We got 40,000. We can buy us a little station. Now use your shift button and your wheel and your mouse. And what I try to do is I try to line it up for when I want to go to San Francisco. So I'll put it as far as I can out here.
I see you've placed new stations on the playing field.
And I'm going to run this line to that line. I don't have quite enough money to do it yet, but it won't take but a second to get it going. See what we got going here. Yeah, we'll have some cash right here in a second. It says this load cattle gets to Albuquerque. 68. So we still got some time to get rid of this meat. Here it comes. There's that. Unloading. $20,000. Now he's only taking back 5 loads of meat. So right now we're bringing in more cattle than they are making meat. So, you know, a good way to fix that is to buy the meat factory and upgrade it. But we're not going to do that right now. We don't need to. We need to get us some income going. Well, we got cash coming in pretty quick, and that's through expansion. This will be my 4th train. Yeah. Sitting on top of the mountain watching trains. I live in the Appalachian Mountains, so up the mountains around where I live, I've climbed, and the scenery is beautiful. You can see the distance like this. That's what it looks like. Except we're a lot higher up than
Hello?
this game's
Hello?
representing.
New to the business? No sweat. Everyone has to start somewhere.
Place is busy. We're gonna have some more cash here in a few minutes to get this Los Angeles to Kingman line going. We'll also have to put a supply tower shortly. The factory's staying busy, as you can see. We've got corn here. Not sure what the packaging is. I guess it's meat, and then we got some cows right there. So the platforms are ready to be loaded. Now you see the start popped up here. This is how you research technology. So earlier we did a bid and didn't have to research this train. We was able to buy it out. Now we're just going to do research on a detonator. What that does is it gives us 6 more percentage increased reliability of our locomotives, so they won't tear up as much. So we went ahead and researched that. So you can see this place is really busy right now. In a place like that, if you like working on railroads, a factory like that would be awesome to work on, because you'd have trains coming out, in and out all day, stay busy in the train yard moving stuff, preparing it for another train or unloading stuff. So it'd be, yeah, I think it'd be a cool job. A busy job like this. Here comes another one. Now we got enough money to get a train going, so let's do that. Let's run this one from Kingman, make it a passenger, to Los Angeles. Oh, we gotta get a line going, I forgot about that. I'll show it in a minute. Okay, we ain't got enough money yet. We'll get it in a few minutes. As you see, we've got a passenger train coming in. That'll give us enough money to run our train the way we want to. There it is. Hancock. Let's go ahead and get a stoker going. Pay attention to the personalities, because if you get personalities that don't work together, see, he don't like him, and see, it hurts that hurts the profit that you can get. So let's set up the line, and I'll work on them two guys here in a minute. Kingman to Los Angeles. Now let's go in here. And then remove him. And we'll put him on a different train here in a few minutes. Well, I thought I did a passenger only. I guess I didn't. There's meat being taken to Los Angeles. We'll leave it as is. It's going to be money anyway. Priority. We'll put priority on there. And a minimum. That way we got something going on with that all the time. And then Los Angeles. We'll do the same. Priority on that and that. Or you can do it passenger mail only. But it'll do it. See, it's erased my delivery. I shouldn't have done that, but it's alright. It's a good way to show you how you can set your trains up. Now, next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and get me another supply station going, and we'll put it out here. That way a supply tower for this rail line will be supplied easily. We'll upgrade this town to have 2 lines here shortly. And then once we get 2 lines, we'll run stuff to we'll keep running from Kingman back and forth. We'll get a freight line going from warehouse to Kingman. I mean to LA, sorry. And then from LA to Albuquerque, we'll get a rail line going there. So this line here is going to be really busy shortly. That's a passenger point train now. Later on in the game, you have to really pay attention to the types of locomotives you get, because if you get a freight train and you're running passengers, you won't get as much money when you can max out on the different types of locomotive to get better money for passengers. And in turn, with the freight train, with goods, you make more money if you have trains that are designated for that purpose. Let's go ahead and take a ride from Los Angeles to Kingman. Now, passenger trains are a lot wider. You noticed how quick you got up that mountain. If it would have been loaded with beer, it probably would struggle getting up the mountain. Or we took our time to lay track. The game had dug this little trench out, so it would be easier for the train to go through instead over hills. You see the elevation so much higher from LA to get to Kingman, so we consistently climb until we plateau out just outside of Pink. There's our supply tower that we just placed, and you can see Kingman in the distance. We should be able to run a second line here shortly and upgrade Los Angeles' depot. We have 2 tracks. Don't see anything coming into Kingman from the other side. I don't see any smoke. I don't see any movement. So all the trains are to the east right now, except the one we're on. And we're here. I don't see no sign of a locomotive coming from the east to the west right now. So we'll turn right around and head back to Los Angeles. Let's see if we got enough money to go ahead and upgrade this. Yep. To 2 tracks. Our next line of business is getting multiple trains coming into Los Angeles. Now we're not going to run a big tunnel or anything. We're going to connect this guy right here. 106,000 when I can connect. And to be honest, that shouldn't take too long. So there that train goes. Let's see where our trains are. That one should get to Los Angeles pretty quick. It's all downhill. We've got this freight train carrying cattle and corn going to Kingman. We've got Albuquerque Kingman passenger train just left Albuquerque, so it'll be a few minutes. Then we got the warehouse one to Albuquerque with cattle. We should have some cash, at least 3 loads of cash pretty quick here shortly. We've got a random breakdown out here. So this train here is broke down. It's going to delay anything behind it. Luckily, there's no trains behind this one. Not yet. But it's not going to hold up a lot of things. There's the next train coming up behind it. There's our freight train coming into Kingman. Be some more cash. I think that other train that made LA's there. Now it's coming in now. Something that you always want to keep in mind is have a plan. Just don't start laying track and building things. Have a plan how you're going to expand. You gotta remember, you gotta have maintenance towers or maintenance buildings, supply towers. You got to think how your track's going to run, so you want to run it as very efficient so it won't clog up your rail line. I showed you earlier to look at the size of the goods, places of goods like the Chaplin breeding with cattle. Some people invest in that really early. Others do like I do. You get your line going and your income going, and then you start investing in some of these things. Here comes our train from Albuquerque to Kingman in, so we're getting ready. We're getting ready to be able to lay that second line from Kingman to Los Angeles. And once we do that, our next move will be to get trains going from LA to Albuquerque, LA to the warehouse. And then we work on getting these wheat fields, snatching them up. And then after that, we got to look where our opponents are, what our goals are. And the main thing, your main goal is up here, is to reach a population of 76,000. See, this is not even moved yet. So once we start running stuff from LA to Albuquerque, it should start going up some. And we're still in 1830, so if we can get the population to move, by December or January, we're doing really good. Within a year, we're increasing the population to meet this goal. And here comes the LA to Kingman locomotive. 8,000. We're getting close. Getting really close to be able to run this second line, and we should be able to do it right after this train from LA unloads in Kingman. We should have enough. Yep, there it is. So we've got enough money now. Down here, we didn't build a station that had the tracks crossing back and forth, and we're gonna have to have directions in our tracks. So let's go ahead and lay that real fast. And put some signals out. Use your shift bar and the left mouse button. You can get it to, it'll show it's gonna run the line there. I like doing it like you'd be driving down the road. Vehicle on the right side of the road, or in this case, track. As you can see, get enough signals out so we don't clog things up when we get multiple trains coming. Because trains will stop if there's not something that's triggered it to move on. Now we just got to get some money for another train to go to the warehouse, which we'll start it down here once we get enough money. This train from warehouse 1 will go to LA. We'll get it started here in a minute, and then we'll do an Albuquerque to Los Angeles passenger train. Look at all the trains, and we've got 4 trains on 4 tracks in warehouse 1, so it's starting to clog up a little bit. Now, what was he doing? They must have loaded up with me. Nope, yep. So there's no demand in cattle right now, and my trains are running in empty right now. So we've got to get this move going. And I was afraid of that, so it's sort of a waste. Right now, one strategy you could do is take that train that's going up here, reroute it from there to LA. But I like just keeping it going. We'll have enough money to get some trains going to LA from warehouse 1. We'll probably do 2 trains, maybe. Go from warehouse 1 to LA, so we can have enough supplies going in and out. And we may have an extra one going to Kingman as well. So let's just wait and see what happens. It says it lacks supplies. Did I not put a supply tower? I did not. We need to put a supply tower down here. Or maybe right there. Man, they ain't gonna let us. Somewhere right in here maybe. Let's go ahead and do that. Gonna let me right here. So we'll go ahead and put one. We'll put one right there. See, it's hard sometimes to remember to do everything. I didn't even think about that line. That train's going to continue to run until we get rid of some meat here at warehouse 1. It's not going to carry anything going back to the warehouse. It's not going to carry anything. So set up for L1. This is going to go to LA. Put freight. And then it'll should take meat and then beer back. Let's go ahead and put a stoker on. Let's put in corn, so, but at least it's taking something. And of course, they do a covered cab auction once I purchase them. The game's pretty smart in that area. Get you off guard a little bit. We'll get another train going to LA here in a minute. We'll do a carbon copy once I can get 30,000. We're not making a lot of cash, but things are about to get a little bit quicker once we can get all our trains in there. Well, let's talk about the quarterly report. So we just took one bond out. So it's going to include on this report. Now, whenever we pay the bond back, it's going to show that. But right now, we're being very profitable, and that's what you want to do. And then here's your quarterly report if you want to look over it. I never do. I don't pay attention to that. Competitors, now there's something you got to keep an eye on. They can be slick. They will buy you out if you're not careful. So, for example, I'm doing the best out of all of them. You can see how much money I've made. Now, if I wanted to defeat my opponents, here's one way you can do it, and that's by buying stock. So like right now, if I had enough money, I could buy them out for 1,900 shares once I got 100% shares available. So a way to buy a share is right here. You go there and you tell the game how much money you want to invest. We don't have a lot of money right now, so we can't really do much with it, but a good strategy is about once a half a year or once a year in this game, devote your time to putting stock in other companies so you can buy them out if you need to. That's what I do. Right now I don't have the ability to do that. So let's get back over here to warehouse. We're getting ready to make some money. We'll get another train going. We'll do the carbon copy, or the stamp up there to copy a train. That train's right now reaching Kingman. It's on its way to Los Angeles. It's going to have plenty of room to. There's our money. Do that. Now, see, it's taking corn and some of our meat, so we could possibly buy another one to fill this need that Los Angeles is needing. And we may do that. As soon as we make some more cash, we get a lot of goods flowing out of this warehouse. We've got a lot of money tied up in it. We just can't let it sit, especially when there's high demand.
Nice weather today, isn't it?
If you paid attention earlier, right, Albuquerque's population was 12,000, and Los Angeles is already 21,000. So you could, it's almost double the population if you can get that to get these other two cities going. To Albuquerque will start growing. So now we're getting some meat taken out there, and that'll help our trains. It's bringing in cattle, and our trains it's bringing in meat. Keep the the goods flowing. And we'll probably do another train to Kingman, another freight train. That one's going to Albuquerque, Kingman, and then we'll do one more train to Los Angeles, Albuquerque. So he ain't got nothing, so he can't really do nothing right yet. Once we see him load up, if he loads up full load, then we might be able to do that. This warehouse is getting very busy. See what he does? Well, he's getting serviced right now.
I can't explain why your employee suddenly wants to work for me either.
Yeah, the computer, they'll do stuff to you during the game, like bag your employees, tear your trains up. They're always working against you while they're building their little monopoly in the world. Okay, can't load any meat. He's loaded cattle. Well, he wouldn't load meat. He's loading cattle, which is good. He just didn't bring no meat back. Let's take a look. Let's go ahead and buy another. And now we'll take a look. Yep. These things are getting filled up. Now let's get a train going from Los Angeles to Albuquerque. And I don't think yeah, I did do a passenger train. That's right. Look at the engineer. Be him. Super efficient. He's Tim. They're free. So pretty much we're through with giving each station the amount of trains they need to run. We could possibly look at how many trains we've got going to West Manor. We got one or two maybe. Yeah, we got two. So let's take a look and see if we can update. Wow. That place is grown. Yeah, we need to buy another one. We'll go ahead and buy another one, see if we can afford it. If you notice, the warehouse is staying pretty busy right now. There's at least 2 to 3 trains in there at all times. Right now we just got one, but as you can see in the distance there, we've got 2 coming to the warehouse right now. So we could probably manage to have a 3rd one in this thing, bringing materials in. Let's take a look at the let's see how much they got there. 9.6 a week. We could afford to have another. And another strategy we could do is to go ahead and start working on building another warehouse. Either up here maybe right in here that would go straight to Los Angeles and Kingman, and that would free up this warehouse. Or put a warehouse out here so we can gather these goods and feed Albuquerque that way. But you know, the goal we need to do is to get Los Angeles their wheat, and we've got a place to put the wheat right now. So I think think we go here. We start working to expand the line that way. It's $106,000 already to get out here, but we're gonna have to do it. Now, the reason why I'm going past this wheat field is I know that this line's gonna be a main line later on when I'm trying to work myself to the east. So I'm just gonna go ahead and build this line here and then wait it out and purchase it, and then we'll build a station here. We'll probably have a line that circles around there and feeds things back that way. But business is picking up, as you can tell. This line here from LA to Kingman is starting to get busy. And then the line from Albuquerque to Kingman is high traffic, especially around the warehouse. As you can see, just sitting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 trains within a screen of each other on the same line, so it's busy. It's a busy little place right now. Get down here just to get to watch the trains when there's not much going on. Hoping Albuquerque will take off here shortly. We're in March already. I said January, December or January. I was hoping it'd take off, but it ain't yet. But it will. Once we expand a little bit more, it'll do it. All these locomotives coming into the warehouse. You got one that's broke down that needs repairing, and you got 1, 2, 3. You got a passenger train coming through, but you got 3 coming in. 2's waiting now. There's if you look at the top of the screen, there's another cattle train coming from the north coming in. As soon as these passenger trains clear each other, then it will open it up for these other freight trains to come in and unload. We're still profitable. That's good. You seen where it said interest due? That's off the bond that we took out. So eventually we want to pay that bond off. Warehouse is pretty wide open. I don't know why. Here comes the train. So I said I didn't know why it was sitting waiting. I guess I had to wait for the track to clear for that one. It was riding solo, bareback. warehouse is a busy little place right now. These workers probably don't get much break. But just like in real life, whenever you work hard, your day goes by faster. When you stay busy, that means you're making money. If you're sitting around, that's, potentially you're gonna be laid off. So, if you work in any type of industry or business that has supply and demand, you want the demand so you can have the supply to be profitable, to live a good life. Here we go. 181,000. We're getting close to where I can expand our track. Man, I'm gonna take you down low here. Can you imagine working at a place like this? And all these cars are 200 to 300 cars instead of 8. And you're having, move cars around to be able to line it up for the next train to come in. Or if you're working at a place that has a warehouse like this, that you're having to unload cars, materials, it can get pretty busy. And that train come in empty, so there's something that's filled up. Corn and meat are currently full, maxed out. And there's one with only 2, so we're going to have to expand. We're going to have to expand. And we're about ready to get this wheat train going. We can get Los Angeles to grow. Once Los Angeles grows, then hopefully Albuquerque will grow. I think we got enough money. Nope, 253. We're getting close. Los Angeles is gonna need some more trains going down. We'll ride this one. Kingman or LA. That's what's it. So we ride along. Waiting for the track to clear. As you can see, there's a train coming in from the north that has supplies. Pasture train is clearing right there. I didn't see one of these boxcars go. Nope, that's a train going back to the north to pick up goods. So yeah, that's going. We got nothing to pick up, so let's see what happens. We're up and running. Our trip to LA with Global Routes. And here we go. in Albuquerque. They get 256,000. We'll pop out of here and expand the line. Shouldn't take long with that train going to Albuquerque. That'll get close to 30 more thousand. So hopefully, we can get some weight on to the warehouse supply at Los Angeles. Wednesdays I'm gonna ride an Amtrak from the East Coast to the West Coast. That's a plan that me and my wife have been talking about doing for the last couple of years. So we live in North Carolina, so I've looked up the Amtrak schedules, and pretty much we would catch a train from Charlotte or maybe Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and take it to Washington D.C. and then get on a train from Washington D.C. to Chicago, and then Chicago to San Francisco is a route that we're looking at doing. 260,000 going up out. That was a fun ride to Kingman, even though he's going to LA. However, we gotta build some line. That's why it's expensive, this bridge right here. So let's cancel that out. Let's rebuild this guy. And we've got to wrap ourselves around here. And since I'm doing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and towards LA. Denver, sorry. Denver, and then I'll get this week. We'll make it up to right there and angle it. Right there, and we'll stop. Go ahead and run this on out. So we've got a rail heading towards Denver. Now, our smart play would be to run a line here upwards. So, once I get this to 40,000, I'll put a single station right there. It won't take long. There it is. That way I don't have to go over any more bridges. Let me aim it. Let me put the building back there in case I want to expand this track. And let's go ahead, and it shouldn't be that expensive, I'm thinking. We got no hills, we're gonna run it right along the river. Do a scenic route. $71,000. It won't take no time. We'll have that going here in a few minutes. Let's take a look at Albuquerque. See, their population is going up. I just seen it jump a little bit, not much, but since we get that fulfillment demand going and we can get some more people coming in and out from different cities, you'll see Albuquerque explode here shortly. Well, we want to try to get that done within this year, and we're already in May, so we're halfway through the year, so we're going to have to really work on getting this going. Right now, Albuquerque's got 18 cartloads of meat. So once we get this week, once we get the week started, we're gonna have to look at a city. And I'm thinking once we get Denver, there's a couple of cities to the north that we could that makes beer as well that we can get some meat to. So we'll look at that and some other possibilities. Maybe San Francisco. I know they don't have meat as well. But it is growing. As you noticed, we gained 2 people while I was talking. This little graph right here gives you an idea of what's being brought in, what's being made. So right now they're getting 17 carloads of cattle in, and the goods that's coming from that's being took out is 3.6. A little bit of corn, a little bit of logs. That's to telling you that they're at capacity and more cattle's coming in. And then this is how much they're working. And this is what the other cities are needing. So the high demand right now is cattle. That's what cities are putting out. Is cattle and then wheat. Okay, that's what they're needing. There's 27,000 citizens demand sugarcane, cloth, and milk. So we're going to have to look at getting these areas because we've got them close to us. We got to look at doing that as well. Oh, we got 58,000. See, we're getting close. Getting this line going. Now, we brought this track onto the main line, so what we need to do is we've got to cross this over so we don't clog the line up. And it's a good thing that signals don't cost anything. We'd be hurt. Get that going. Once we get the wheat going, and LA can start making beer, things should start getting better for all the cities. Right now, LA's not putting out anything. They're asking for stuff, but they're not putting out anything. And once we can get all 3 cities putting out stuff, you'll see all 3 cities grow. Now, you see the green star up top there? There is somebody, and I'll explain that right now, that if you connect, you'll get a bonus of 131,000. So let's see what it is. Oh, it's this corn farm. So that's within distance of what we're doing. So this may be a good investment when we get that started here soon. And we've got a factory that we can take the corn to. So. But let's get the wheat farm going. We still got a little time. Now let's wrap around this. And when we're going to have multiple trains going, what I want to do is just connect that there. So it costs 91,000. We'll get a train going first before we do that.
Nothing
So
ventured, nothing gained.
So there's no delay in these wheat trains getting back and forth. They don't run into each other or have to wait on each other that long. As soon as we reach about 32,000, I'll buy another train. That'll go from the wheat farm to Warehouse 1. That'll be the first train started on this investment. Things have slowed down just a bit. We may have to take a look and see what's going on. Oh, here we go. just take this to warehouse 1. That's a pretty long trip. When we get enough trains going, it won't be that bad. Get an engineer. And shortly we can get another one going. We'll get 2 going. Of course, so right now they have to wait on each other. But there goes our wheat train. Leaving Robinson Manor. Let's ride it. Pretty flat out here in the Midwest. You can see the mountains, Rocky Mountains from the distance. Nice scenic view of the river. You see you're getting ready to go to the west with these tops of mountains you see out west. I'm not sure what you call it, a plateau or something like that. I can't remember what you call it. Now we can run another train. It's gonna wait till this train here is gonna wait until this other train gets to the double tracks because I haven't put any signals out. And when it gets to this other track, it'll take off. And it's still being loaded, so this may get there before then. Alright, you'll see it say waiting on so-and-so to clear. Yep, there it is. So when this train gets here, this train will take off. And we're getting some money coming in now, so we might be able to lay some double track here soon. He's still waiting. And the reason why I'm letting him wait is because I want to get them separated from each other. That way they're not clogging up in a line. And he's getting ready to reach the main line we got to go into Denver. Now we have an opportunity. We've got 2 dairy farms near our lines that we may want to consider making a purchase of another warehouse somewhere and running the milk to that warehouse to take to the 3 cities we've got going now, and Denver looks like our next connection. Hopefully. Either that or San Francisco. It's one of the 2. I haven't made up my mind yet. Now, this other train should be taking off now. So as it clears this signal, it's cleared. Yep, there it went. It just took off. So it waited till it got to that signal before it took off. And we'll do.
This darn technology throws a wrench in the works too often, doesn't it?
90-some thousand, we just double a line going. And then we'll start working on more wheat trains. Let's take a look at our warehouse. See, the meat's just clogged up. Corn's clogged up. We've got to get some deliveries going. Expand to some other cities here shortly. As you can see. And comes our wheat train. Here's this other one. We'll go ahead and get on this auction. run it up on the guy a little bit unless he gives it to us cheap.
Are you sure you're not biting off a little bit more than you can chew?
There we go. So we're staying ahead, at least in the technology. Increase the number of your outputs. About that. We'll go ahead and get another locomotive.
Your new locomotive looks like a real winner.
So this one is 21 miles per hour compared to that one that went at 18 miles per hour. Traction powers for how much it goes uphill. That's at 16%. This one's at 21, so this is a better locomotive. And I feel that we should upgrade. $111,000 to upgrade all, so maybe we just wait just a bit. Let's get this second line going. Let me go ahead and get another train going. That's 3. Now we can see how much wheat they got. He's waiting to clear that other line to clear. Right now, that's probably all we can do. Cleared up that signal, so we're off. Next thing's get this double track, and then we'll upgrade our trains. And then hopefully we can decide which way we're going, either Denver or San Francisco. I'm leaning towards San Francisco. I think that's the right move. Now that we've got some wheat trains going, maybe that's the move we should make. Alright, 90,000. Let's run this track here. Now we can put more wheat trains out and not have to worry. These trains pretty much have a clear path till they get Albuquerque down and being slowed down. And there we go. Now we'll get it a tower, which we'll put it. We'll put one here, maybe in here. A supply tower right now. Let's see. Now another strategy I just thought of this. Let's go back to our trains that was going from to Robinson Manor. Yep. What we could do with those guys, and I'll show you right here, as soon as I find the trains, is this. Now he's not going to be able to do it because he's already took off. But he can take supplies there and drop them off in Indigo. So we'll do that. So let's watch this one for 3 minutes. We'll take this view right here. Yeah, let's keep the camera straight. So it's taking, and if they start delivering, we can get rid of that one train from warehouse one straight to Albuquerque, and be more efficient and put it on the line with wheat. Be more efficient on our loads. Let's see if it works. We're going into the warehouse, number 1, to unload wheat. You see the warehouse is pretty busy right now. Very busy. Look at that. There they go. Let's see if it loads something to take to Albuquerque. I mean, if I was running the rail yard, that's what I would do. Okay, he's being serviced. One trip and he's being serviced. That's not good. We're going to have to upgrade our locomotives, get some better locomotives. There's another one. Ooh, I thought I was hearing from both sides of the sound. Yep, it's going to take this week. Why is he taking it to Albuquerque? Why would he take wheat to Albuquerque? Yeah, I don't make sense. Let's see what happens. They don't need wheat. At least I don't think they do, unless the computer bought a brewery and put it in Albuquerque. Or the game's on crack one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And there goes an empty train that will probably redirect here shortly. Let's see if we can get supplies. Nope, we went on from supplies. They're running Albuquerque.
So, you are my opponent? I hope we both have a fair fight.
There we go. Let's see if this one. Watch him take it back to the farm. That's gonna piss me off. Okay, he's unloading. Did he make money? Did he make money? Yes, he did. Evidently, let's see why they need a grant. Oh, look. That's what we're wanting. That green arrow tells you that the population is starting to rise. That's good. Evidently, they just wanted wheat. There's no factory there. So, look at the population. It's going up. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Now, we're a little bit in a hole right now, but that's okay. We just spent some money. But we're getting the results that we wanted. And we have growth in Kingman. When this gets to level 3, the city gets to level 3, you can buy another factory to put here. Or you can buy a university. And I'll explain that later on. But another factory, a good factory to probably put in here, considering, would be a cloth processing, so you can make clothes. Bring cotton in and you make cloth. And then we could build, if we can buy that, that'd be a good investment. Right now, 191,000. Should we go ahead and get this connection, get us extra money? I think we should. So we're going to go with a small station. Let's put that sucker down here. And we'll run a line line here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna set ourselves up for when we're running a line through Los Angeles. Right there right now. So we need 79,000 more, and then we'll get a line going in here, and that should give us the bonus for connecting that. So we'll make some money back on that. And Kingman's climbing, Albuquerque's growing, Los Angeles. They've lost some people, but they'll start growing soon as soon as I get this week in here. Now, let's talk about San Francisco a little bit. So we're going to run this line up the coast to San Francisco, and they also make beer. And guess what they got near them? A wheat farm. So to me, this is a no-brainer. So we can run more meat here and make more beer. Those two cities are supplying these two cities, and that's what we want. And then after that, we'll go for Denver, which has meat and a cattle farm near it, another milk farm or dairy farm, I mean, and then Casper has beer. So these two could really play off of each other. Albuquerque's our center of our hub. That's where we want everything going through Albuquerque to get this population up. So far everything's going to plan on what I want to do. I'm going to stop this video whenever we get to January 1st, and this will be my first stream. Let me know what you think, how I did. Please subscribe and like my videos. Also, besides this game, I've got numerous other games I'm going to stream. I'm going to do a series on NCAA 14, APF 2K8. I got a couple other games I want to start streaming. But for my first stream right now, this has been my favorite game for the last couple years that I play all the time. I've got Railroad Empire. I haven't tried it yet, but I mean not Railroad Empire, Railroad Corporation, and I'm eventually, when I get tired of this, I'll start it as well. So when we get to January 1st, I'm gonna, we're 2 years in the game. I'm gonna stop right there and upload this video. See how much they've got. Yeah, I need another train there. Do need another train going into there. Take a look at our warehouse. We need more wheat in the warehouse. Got no beer. Plenty of logs, plenty of meat, plenty of corn. Shortage on cattle. So we've got to either upgrade these meat factories or get supplies flowing. It's one of the two. So we're going to go ahead and get another train. You may get 5 going set because of the distance of getting to this factory. We need more trains going to get more materials out that we need. So we'll do that. Get this guy going, get some more money. This little wheat farm will grow in a hurry. Probably should have invested in it, to be honest. I just don't have the funds to do it right now and making the purchases of some of the places I would like to have. See if we can get us a 5th train going. There we go. See, it's down to, it's making 2.4 a week. It's already got 7 carloads going off, so we'll take a look and see if we need another one. I think this is plenty though, because there's another train coming in. So one way you can make sure that you get plenty of loads is to go here and do a minimum. We'll do a minimum of 4. And let's catch up with these other trades, and we'll do a minimum of 4 on all of them. That way we know that they're getting loads and we're not wasting fuel. There's 2. And they'll wait until they get their 4 loads. Hopefully they'll get 8. There's one more. Where is he at? Is that him? Maybe. Let's see where he's at. This little train needs. We'll add him to this route. That will clear him up. I had one more that was going to. Let's see where he's at. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess he is the 5th one. I thought I had a 5th one besides him. That's him right there. Yep. Must have been man serviced. And we'll put him with a minimum of 4. So we got 6 trains running this line, running the same route, so that should help. Now we just completed all this. Let's see how much weight's gone since we've. So he's already back up to 4 carloads, and hopefully by the time the other 2 trains get here, that'll be back up to 19. Robinson Manor. Maybe we go ahead and buy that and then expand it so we can keep these trains running at full capacity, because we don't have no weed right now going to LA that I'm aware of. We do, it's very minimal. Yeah, there it is. It's going to LA right there. Up to 6. That's that first train. It's gonna get that 6. They're all spread out pretty decently. 7, 8. So we know that first train's gonna get some wheat. And the second one broke down. So going over there will get it too. Alright. We're at December 18th. Let's do San Francisco and then we'll call it a night. So my plan here. Where's track at? Oh yeah. Right, I was doing that. My plans get this, then we'll call it a night. Let's get this rail line right here. We'll run it all up to this bridge. And then circle her in. 45,000. That extra money. That gives a little bit of boost. There we go. Now, let's try to run a route behind it. If you hear that noise, that's my son in there playing football. He would die if he hurt himself making those silly noises. Maybe I ought to play it for you. What do you think? Let's go ahead and let's see. We got a supply tower in here. No, we don't. There. Enough money to get us a train going. Now let's run this corn train back to the warehouse. I know it's silly, but that's our option right now. Get it. Get out of there. We're only running 3 right now. We got 8. Let's put them more on there. We don't need many trains. We'll run another one. Track clear. See how much corn's in this factory. See, we're gonna have to probably build another warehouse for some of this stuff. And maybe since we're building here, maybe we should put a warehouse here and start running supplies this way. That's a good plan, actually. Warehouse right here in the middle between San Francisco and LA. Then we can work our way north and east and south. Kingman's still growing. Albuquerque still growing. Let's see what we got it up to. 18,000. It's growing pretty good. So we're pretty much at a good stopping place for tonight. So what's he waiting on? Yeah, he's waiting on corn. 2 trains to get to that place. And we got a line of trains waiting on each other. Look at that. They're all starting to get backed up. So it's time to get another warehouse going here shortly. Because we got all this to get to. Sugar canes being sought after. We need to start looking at building some warehouses. So our next plan will be to build a warehouse here next to San Francisco, bring us wheat in. We've got about 3 dairy farms we've got to build in, so we've got to get wheat, beer, milk in the factories here, maybe some stuff that's getting clogged up here being shipped that away, so that would be meat and corn being shipped from warehouse 1 to warehouse 2. But things are looking good on this railroad. Let's take a look at these our competitors real fast before we leave. See if there's any expansion. None there, so we're good against them.
A little bit of competition never hurt anybody.
Southeast, still
One
the
of your
same there.
lackeys seems surprisingly competent, so I simply had to offer him a job.
There's a little expansion right here. They've got some logs coming in from Brown Loggy to Pittsburgh, so we're in good shape compared to these other companies. Ooh, El Paso. We may have to make a connection and grab this cash here. So, alrighty, next time we're on here, we'll do episode 2. Everybody have a good night.